y'all, Billy from Perma Pastures Farm. I know you're probably getting tired of seeing me in this little bee suit, but at least we got answers as to why these guys might be behaving the way they are. When we went out and picked blueberries, there's a lady there, Janet, is it? Janet, yeah. She's one of the people that run that Cloud9 place. They're one of the owners, and she's an expert at beekeeping. And folks, like I said before, I treat permaculture like I do a mixed martial artist or a decathlete. I go out there and get coaches along the way for things that are specialized in things that I'm not an expert in. And so in this case, it's no different. So one of her reasons, I know some people have suspected that maybe it was Africanized bees or whatever the case may be, but no, my suspicion was we knocked down all this comfrey that was flowering at the same time. We harvested every single bit of it, and that was part of the problem. And at the same time, we took their honey. So she just by, without even giving it a whole lot of thought, I think she suspected between those two things and also between the honey flows that may be where our problems lie. And honestly, I could probably get away without this suit right now, but I've been lit up so much as of late, so is she and so is William, that we're just going to wear it as a matter of caution. If people can go around wearing masks for no reason, I can wear this bee suit for no reason, huh? Anyway, here's what we are. Yeah, they'll probably scrub this feed. Anyway, with that said, we're going to go ahead and do what we normally do. And folks, if you're new to this, go back and watch the first video. It is critical that you watch this stuff in order, because if you're just now watching this chicken tractor on steroids, you probably have a number of questions wondering what on earth is going on. Well, if you watch them in order, I think they're in a playlist, you kind of get what's happening. But in a nutshell, we're going to take this off, we're going to move it down. Now inside here is that pig's head of the one that we harvested. Now it's nowhere close to being decomposed at this point, but now it's going to be well on its way once we reconfigure this pile, put the head in the center of it. But in addition to that, we also have the skin from that pig that we're also going to compost. It's going to go into the next cage along with coffee grounds and eggshells and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to be doing today. In addition to that, folks, another thing we want to point out, and I don't think we did it so much or so well in the previous videos, is that we knocked this grass down. It is really kind of important, and I can't believe I didn't mention it before that. If you have grass that's, I'd say even this high or even this high, when you make up this ring, when you go to flip that pile, your pitchfork is going to be caught all up in it. And it's something we shouldn't have had to learn again, but we did. So that's exactly why we run these weed eaters beforehand, before we move the tractor, before we do any of that. The footprint and where they're going to operate is going to be weed eat and pretty darn low to the ground. And that's okay in this system. All right, so where we are now, we're going to do what we ordinarily do. And folks, how exciting is that? We're putting out compost 1.5 cubic yards a week. This one's going to be a little short. We got kind of caught up with so many other things that we neglected to fill this thing all the way up. So it's about right at a cubic yard, probably a little bit less, almost certainly a little bit less. But in next week, we'll show you how we fix a problem like this, because it's to the point. I could add more material if I wanted. No, I'm going to show you what's going to happen when you have too little material to generate what you need in terms of a reaction in that compost pile. So we'll deal with this next week. But like I said, up to here, up to the top is about a cubic yard and a half. So we're right at, I don't know, we might be at a cubic yard, maybe a little bit smaller. So anyway, we're going to take this ring, move it down, reconfigure, flip the piles, you know the deal. And if you don't, go back, remember what I said, go back and watch that video. So with that said, it's off to it. Well, I'm gonna take a risk because even I don't even like watching me wearing this stupid thing. So anyway, what do we have? What are we putting in there this week? Okay, we have several things. These guys are hungry and ready to be fed. They're about to work on that pile. So we got some leftover eggshells and coffee grounds. They ain't looking to eat too much of that, but this is what's left of that pig. We put the head in there last week. I'm gonna try to situate this. It's kind of a frozen block right now. I'm gonna kind of situate it closer to the center. Today, as it warms up, it'll thaw out. These guys will have something of a popsicle, but these are regular food scraps. So we'll get that in there. And like always, when you introduce them to something that they aren't readily familiar with, they're gonna take a little while. They'll kind of mess with it here and there, but by today's end, they're gonna pick a whole lot of that stuff off of there. Whatever skin, not skin so much, but some of the fat. And like I said, folks, these are not vegetarians. In fact, some ways I wonder if they're more carnivores than anything else. All right, so this is set. We got everything set. Everything's where it ought to be. Got yet again another 1.5 cubic yards of compost. So altogether we got 3, 6, 7.5 cubic yards. And these guys have about a month to go. These guys are literally 4 weeks out from being processed. Are they big? No. But that's not important to me. We're not engaging in what Jeff Lawton calls trophy hunter mentality. I don't need the biggest bird. I just need a bird. And look at what they've done in the process. They've made enormous amounts of compost, things I'm going to use here in videos coming up. And they're also getting bigger. Some of these guys we're going to extract and we're going to use them in the laying flock. A good many of them are going to go in the freezer. But they're doing a fantastic job living out the chickenness of the chicken, exactly what they should be doing. So folks, this is our little update for this week. If you have any questions, of course, leave them down below. But also on this 4th of July, I want you to do something that I really don't hear anybody else say. Everybody says Happy 4th or Happy 4th of July, Happy Independence Day. I'm going to ask you to do something differently. Read the Declaration of Independence, okay? It wasn't all about taxation without representation. Look at that list of things that are listed. It doesn't take long. It's a very small, short document. Read that. So instead of saying Happy 4th of July, no, read the Declaration of Independence. Okay, folks, here's your update for the week. Hope you enjoy it. Hope this stuff is beneficial to you. And I also want to give a shout out to James out there, who's one of our Patreon subscribers and also a subscriber here on YouTube that is actually replicating this thing in his own little way. And it's coming out better than I thought. In fact, he's proving that even in a smaller system, this thing does work. So this is why we need as many people out there to replicate this, because you can't really call it science until it is replicated. So folks, till next time, this is Billy, the Permaculture Pimp Daddy, where PIMP stands for Permaculture is my passion. We'll see you next time.